Hello and welcome to the mat today. My name is Crystal and we will be doing a calming yoga practice for loving kindness. All you'll need for your practice today is a mat or a blanket or towel. You can use a chair if you have blocks. Those are not necessary, but if you have them, you're more than welcome to use them. And we will be doing a very calming yoga practice followed by a loving kindness meditation at the end of class. If you're new to meditation, not a problem. This is perfect for beginners. So we will just come to a comfortable seated position, wherever that may be for you. Could be on the floor or seated in a chair like I am. You want to have your feet grounded into the earth, both sit bones nice and planted, sitting up nice and tall. Can rest those palms right down into the lap. And if you feel comfortable, go ahead and close those eyes. Just begin to elongate the spine here. Relaxing your body as you allow those legs to become heavy. Soften the shoulders away from the ears. And release any tension you may be holding in your jaw. And now bring your awareness to your breath. And then begin to deepen that breath. So just taking a moment to center into our practice, to leave anything before or after this time outside of this space. Giving ourselves permission to become relaxed, to allow our minds and our bodies to become soft and calm. Maybe beginning to notice that oceanic sound of the breath as you inhale and exhale. Always coming back to that soothing sound throughout each pose today. And then gently opening the eyes, you can let the hands fall down by the sides of the body. And on the inhale breath, let's bring the shoulders, squeezing them up towards the ears here. And exhale and just release them down. And again, inhale. Exhale, release. Inhaling through the nose. And on the exhale breath, we can actually let it out through the mouth. Letting everything go. One more time. Inhale. Squeezing those shoulders up. And exhale. Let it all go. And then just coming into some shoulder shrugs, some shoulder rolls here. So just bringing those shoulders up, rolling them back and down the spine. and back forward again. Taking your time here, really exaggerating this movement. And then stopping and going in the opposite direction. Keeping the control of that nice deep breath we started with. And then bringing that movement to an end, maybe you come to the edge of your seat here. Placing the feet, your ankles are right below the knees, making sure you're nice and grounded. And I moved out a little bit from my seat so I can bring my hands behind my low back, clasping my hands together into a fist. And then I'm going to bring that fist over to the right side, to the side of my waist, and then hug that right elbow back and in. From here, let's take our right ear and lower it down to the right shoulder. Feeling a nice stretch through the left side of the neck and the left shoulder. Coming back to that deep breath through the nose and out the nose. Inviting the entire body to soften. You're welcome to stay here, or you can also begin to lower the chin down towards the collarbone a little bit. Feel a nice stretch towards the back of the neck. Again, if something doesn't feel right for you, please come out of it. I'm just offering variations. It doesn't mean that you have to go there and do those. I'm just here to guide you, but this is your practice. You could also try to take that chin and lift it just a little bit towards the sky for a nice stretch through the front of the neck. Just play around a little bit here. If you find a place that needs more of a stretch, you can stay there and breathe into it. Send your breath to that area. And then lifting your head to neutral, releasing the arms. You can shake those arms out. And then bringing them behind again. This time when you clasp your hands, let's place the opposite thumb on top. Might feel a little awkward at first. And then we're going to bring the fist package over to the left side of the waist and bringing that left elbow back and in. And now begin to drop the left ear towards that left shoulder. You may find different sensations on this side. Just begin to breathe into those sensations. And I'll offer the same variations on this side. The chin can gently lower down towards the collarbone. And we can gently turn the chin up towards the sky. Being very gentle with the neck. Always moving with slow, controlled movements. Never jerking or torquing. And then slowly bringing your neck back to neutral. Release those arms, shake everything out. Bringing all the blood back through those extremities. Let's take a big inhale as the arms reach out and overhead. Exhale, the arms come down to a T position. Let's turn the palms forward and then press those palms towards the back wall. So as if someone's pressing on your palms and pushing them away from you. Opening through the chest. Maybe you lift that chin just a little bit. Take some nice deep inhales here. Being mindful of the body, remembering the long spine. We're slowly going to begin to cross the arms in front, beginning to round the back. Maybe take the left arm on top of the right, beginning to hug the arms all the way around the body. Maybe you can clasp each shoulder blade. Once you're there, see if you can lower the shoulders down the spine. Maybe you begin to drop the chin, round through the back. Just feeling the shoulder blades expanding from one another. Finding our breath. On the next inhale, let's slowly open those arms up. Spread your wings nice and wide. And again, feeling someone pressing those hands open, opening the chest, shining it bright to the sky. Big inhale. Exhale as we begin to round. This time the right arm comes on top, reaching all the way across. Walk those fingertips across the back as far as you can go. Hugging your body nice and tight. See if you can lower the shoulders down. Maybe tilt that chin into the chest. Maybe rounding the back feels really nice. Take a big inhale breath, opening up through those shoulder blades. On your next inhale, let's open those arms. Again, nice big wingspan here. And exhale down to the side. Good. We'll go ahead and stand, come to a standing position. I'm just going to move my chair to the back of my mat. I will use it for some stretches later for stability and balance. So coming to a standing position, we'll start first with crossing the left leg in front of the right leg. So really we're just crossing at the ankles here. So crossing at the ankles, planting all four corners of both feet down. So if you have to step a little bit forward, that's okay. And if you want to use the wall, you're more than welcome to turn to use the wall, or you can use the back of the chair. Want to feel nice and grounded and stable. Once we're here, we feel grounded, let's lift up through the legs. Squeeze those legs together. We want to feel the inner thighs squeezing towards one another. Okay? Hugging the ribs up and in. Inhale the arms up and overhead. And then we're going to clasp the left wrist with the right fingers. Inhale till we lift up, reaching up, and then we're just going to bend over to the right, shifting the hips out to the left for a nice side stretch. Feeling the opening in between each rib here. Coming back to your breath. Keeping the slow, controlled breathing like at the beginning of our practice. On your next inhale breath, come all the way to standing, reach both hands up and overhead. On the exhale, let's swan dive, bend from the hips, forward fold. Again, you can come down to the floor, to the blocks. You can come to your shins, to the chair. So wherever you're at today, you can go ahead and let the head hang heavy, Shaking the head yes and no here. Noticing the stretch in both of the legs. Feel it towards the outside of the legs and the back of the legs. Maybe play around with where your weight is in the feet, shifting very gently from the front to the toes, back to the heels. On an inhale breath, let's come up to a flat spine. Exhale and fold. And on the next inhale, root to rise all the way up. Palms touch and exhale the hands down through heart center. Gently lowering the hands down. And we're just going to pivot and turn towards, I'm going to turn towards the back of my mat, towards my chair. So the left foot is forward and that right leg is back. And we're about 1 to 2 feet in between the legs. So whatever's comfortable for you. Both feet are facing in the same direction and both hip bones are facing towards the back as well. Coming into a pyramid pose. So let's inhale the arms overhead. And on exhale, we're going to begin to fold from the hips. And I'm going to use my chair here. Just going to where you can with that flat back. Now you can stay there, or you can begin to round and fold over. So your choice. You can bring the hands to your shin, to the floor, to the blocks. You can even take a gentle bend in the front leg. Just imagine that left hip is drawing towards the back of the mat and the right hip's drawing forward. Let's just take a couple of our deep breaths here, sending some fresh oxygen down the back of that left leg. So we begin to stretch out the hamstrings. And then on your next inhale, let's slowly begin to lift the arms back up overhead. Palms touch, and exhale the hands down through heart center. We're releasing the hands down, and we're just going to switch over to the other side. I'm going to bring my chair with me. Coming on to the other side, we'll begin by crossing the right leg over the left. So just doing the opposite here. I'm going to ground down through all 4 corners of both feet here, and then squeezing. Imagine placing your palm in between your legs and just squeeze your palm together. Really squeezing, toning in, zoning in on that center of my body. Okay? Hugging in, lifting up through the ribs, drawing up through my pelvis. Inhale the arms up overhead. And I'm going to clasp my right wrist with the left fingers. And inhale again to reach up nice and high. And exhale as we begin to bend over to the left. Stretching out the right side body. Now imagining opening the right shoulder to the sky. So instead of dropping forward, we're opening it up. Keep squeezing those thighs to help with your stability. And keep breathing. Lift, lift, lift up through the wrist and the fingers. And on the next inhale breath, rising up. On the exhale, let's begin to swan dive, forward fold from the hips forward. Taking a forward fold on this side. And maybe nodding out the head, yes and no. Just allowing it to become weightless. On an inhale breath, we'll come to a flat back. Exhale and lower. And on the next inhale, root to rise, all the way up, palms touch. Exhale the hands down to heart center. And then we'll release it all out. Turning now, twisting open. The right leg is in front, left leg's in the back, about 1 to 2 feet behind. So we can be in more of a railroad position with the feet, with the footing. So not, the feet don't have to be in a line like a tightrope. They can be a little bit apart like a railroad track. The toes are pointing in the same direction, facing forward. The hips are also facing forward. Lifting up through the spine, each vertebrae. Inhale. And then bending from the hips, from the pelvis, begin to fold forward as we exhale. Keeping that nice flat back. So you can stay, wherever you start feeling that gentle stretch, you can stay and hold that position. Keeping the flat back, or you can begin to round and let the head and the shoulders be heavy. This is your choice here. The hands can always come down to the shins, the floor, or the blocks. I'm just choosing to use the chair today as my prop. Inhaling nice fresh oxygen. Send all that fresh energy down the back side of the right leg. Imagine the right hip drawing back away from the top of the mat as the right hip draws forward towards the top of the mat. Hug your belly up and in. Take one more full breath here. And on your next inhale, we'll slowly rise all the way up with the arms. Palms touch. Exhale the hands down to heart center. You can release the arms down. Maybe you shake everything out. And then we're going to come to a seated position. And I'm actually going to come down onto my mat. You're welcome to come seated into the chair. Making your way down onto the floor or into the chair. Again, we want to feel grounded into both sit bones. We're going to make our way into fire log pose. We'll open up the hips, a great hip stretcher here. So fire log pose, we'll be taking both legs, the shin part of the leg, and we'll make it parallel with the front edge of the mat. Go ahead and flex the foot. We want to keep the feet nice and active. Bringing the shin parallel, and then I'm going to take my right leg and place it right on top. And the right shin will also be parallel. So in theory, my right ankle will be resting on my left knee, and my right knee will be resting on top of my left ankle. Here's where we can use some props. If you're not touching here, you're not resting down, you can use a block to rest on. You can slip a pillow in there. Some people aren't going to come anywhere near here, and that's perfectly fine. The hips hold a lot of tension. We hold a lot of emotional energy here, a lot of tightness. Bring your hands behind your hips. I like to ten them up under my fingertips. Sit up through each vertebrae nice and tall. Check that both feet are flexed. Begin to breathe. Now, if you're looking for more of a stretch, you can begin to walk the hands out in front and fold over, keeping a nice flat spine. Again, beginning to listen to the oceanic sound of the breath here to calm the body. Let the body know it's okay to relax. It's okay to soften into this pose. And if you've walked your hands forward to fold, let's come back to a seated position. And we'll take the right or the left hand now, crossing it over in front of the body to the outside of the right leg, reaching back with the right arm, coming into a gentle twist. Inhale to grow tall through the spine. Exhale as we twist open to the right. Maybe the gaze goes over that back shoulder. Coming back through center, both hands behind the body again. Unwinding the legs, we'll bring both feet down onto the earth, and then just drop the hips to the knees to the right, and then to the left. Just windshield wiper out, release any tensions here before we move on to the other side. So for the other side, we're going to bring the right leg down first, bringing the shin parallel to the front of the mat. Left leg comes on top. Again, both feet are flexed. You'll notice right away one side is tighter than the other, one side may be more open. That's okay. We're not going to try to fix that today. We're just noticing. We're coming aware of it. We won't critique it. We're just making ourselves aware. Sit up nice and tall. Hands can come behind the body. Reaching up through each vertebrae. Draw the navel in towards the spine. Maybe get a little bit of a smile to your face. And if you'd like more of a stretch here, you can begin to fold over the legs, keeping a nice straight spine. So some people are very open in the hips while others are very tight and closed off in the hips. And that's okay, everybody's different. So you go where you are today in your body today. So this is your practice. I'm just here to guide you through it. You do what feels good for you at this moment. Breathing through here. We're sending all that yumminess of our inhale breaths down to the hips, allowing them to open up. Exhale out, sending out all of that staleness, that stagnation that's stuck there. If you folded forward, begin to walk those hands back. And we're going to take the right arm, send it across the body to the outside of the left leg, opening up to the left. Inhale, grow tall through the spine. And exhale, maybe we twist a little bit more. Checking in, see if both feet are still flexed. And then slowly coming back to center, both arms again behind the body. Let's unwind those legs and just windshield wiper them out. Take in your time. And then when your legs to one side, we're just gonna come on over and make our way through tabletop and right into a child's pose. So send those knees wide. Your big toes will touch, the hips come back onto the heels. Reach those hands out nice and long, and then melt the chest down to the earth. Surrender everything down, resting the forehead down onto the mat. If you're in your chair, you can come to a nice seated position, sitting up nice and tall with the hands resting in your lap. We're taking a moment here just to surrender down, to soften through the hips, softening through the chest, through the jaw, through the forehead, and coming back to the calmness of our oceanic breath. And now lifting your gaze, coming back up through tabletop position. The hips are stacked right over the knees. The shoulders are over the wrists. Coming into puppy pose, let's take a giant step forward with the hands reaching out in front and keeping the hips where they are. We're going to slowly lower the chest down to the earth. You can rest your chin onto the mat or the forehead. Really opening up through the chest, through the shoulders. If you want more of a stretch, you can bring your palms to prayer and then draw the thumbs towards the back of the neck. So just come wherever you're at today, to your edge. Use your breath, allowing yourself to soften, surrender down to the earth. And then when you're ready, lifting your gaze, coming back to table. And you can swing your legs to one side as you come to a seated position. And now making our way into a supine position, a lying down position, we're going to come into our loving kindness meditation. So we can end lying down on the mat, how we would normally end in Shavasana. If you prefer, you can end sitting up. You could also be sitting in the chair. So this is really your choice. So whatever is most comfortable for you. I will be seated, kneeling. You could even put your legs up the wall if that's something that you would enjoy doing. So it's really your choice here. But go ahead and get yourself nice and comfortable. If you want to lay down, get your legs out to the sides. Your feet are just hanging out. Arms are resting by the sides. If you're seated, you could rest your hand in your lap. So just become comfortable in your chair, your cushion, or on your mat. sitting with a relaxed but a nice straight posture. Your shoulders are nice and relaxed. Allow your hands just to rest comfortably in your lap, or if you're lying down, they can be on your lower belly or they can be to the sides of the body. And gently close your eyes or find a soft gaze, finding something to focus on. Settling in to awareness of the body and the breath. Feeling into our body right now, so noticing what's there. Open to whatever is to be experienced in the body in this moment. Connecting to the breath, noticing the wave-like movements of the belly. In this practice, we'll be cultivating loving kindness. We all have within us this natural capacity for loving kindness, or friendship that is unconditional and open, gentle, supportive. Loving kindness is a natural opening of a compassionate heart to ourselves and to others. It's a wish that everyone be happy. We begin with developing loving kindness toward ourselves, allowing our hearts to open with tenderness. Now allow yourself to remember and open up to your basic goodness. You might remember times you have been kind or generous. You might recall your natural desire to be happy and not to suffer. If acknowledging your own goodness is difficult, look at yourself through the eyes of someone who loves you. What does that person love about you? Or you may recall the unconditional love you felt from a beloved pet. It may help to use the imagination and to picture yourself as a young child standing before you, perhaps 4 or 5 years of age, if that allows tender feelings of kindness to flow more easily. And as you experience this love, notice how you feel in your body. Maybe you feel some warmth or heat in the face, a smile, a sense of expansiveness. This is loving kindness, a natural feeling that is accessible to all of us, always. Resting with this feeling of open, unconditional love for a few minutes. Letting yourself bask in the energy of loving kindness. breathing it in and breathing it out, inviting feelings of peace and acceptance. So beginning now to wish yourself well by extending words of loving kindness to yourself. I'll be offering as guidance the phrases that I've chosen to use in my own practice. You're invited to alter these phrases and choose whatever words express your wishes of loving kindness toward yourself and others. And now, offering these words in your mind for yourself. May I be filled with loving kindness. May I be held in loving kindness. May I feel connected and calm. May I accept myself just as I am. May I be happy. May I know the natural joy of being alive. And now repeating in the mind these words of friendship and kindness to yourself once again. May I be filled with loving kindness. May I be held in loving kindness. May I feel connected and calm. May I accept myself just as I am. May I be happy. May I know the natural joy of being alive. Now you can open the circle of loving kindness by bringing to mind someone who is dear to you, someone whom you care about and who has always been supportive. Reflect on this person's basic goodness, sensing what it is in particular that you love about him or her. In your heart, feel your appreciation for this dear one and begin your simple offering. May you be filled with loving kindness. May you be held in loving kindness. May you feel my love now. May you accept yourself just as you are. May you be happy. May you know the natural joy of being alive. Now bring to mind a neutral person. This is someone you might see regularly but don't know well. It might be a neighbor, a grocery store clerk. Bring this person to mind now and repeat the words of loving kindness. May you be filled with loving kindness. May you be held in loving kindness. May you feel my love now. May you accept yourself just as you are. May you be happy. May you know the natural joy of being alive. And now, if it's possible for you, bring to mind someone with whom you've had a difficult relationship. Perhaps it's someone you don't like to feel sympathy or compassion for. Seeing if it's possible to let go of feelings of resentment and dislike for this person. Reminding yourself to see this person as a whole being, deserving of love and kindness, as someone who feels pain and anxiety, as someone who also suffers. Seeing if it's possible to extend to this person the words of loving kindness in your mind. May you be filled with loving kindness. May you be held in loving kindness. May you feel my love now. May you accept yourself just as you are. May you be happy. May you know the natural joy of being alive. And now allow your awareness to open out in all directions. Yourself, a dear one, a neutral person, and a difficult person. And of all beings, humans and animals living everywhere, living in richness, poverty, war, peace, hunger, abundance, aware of all the joys and sorrows that all beings experience. May all beings be filled with loving kindness. May all beings be happy. May all beings be awakened and be free. May all beings be happy. And now, bringing this practice to a close by coming back to extend kindness to yourself, sitting for a moment and basking in the energy of loving kindness that may have been generated here. Just begin to bring your awareness back to your breath. As you begin to deepen your breath, your inhales and your exhales. Welcome gentle movements, rubbing your thumb across the fingertips, rolling out the wrists or the ankles, maybe some gentle movement in the head. You can reach the legs long and the arms overhead. Take a full body stretch. And if you're lying down, bend your knees, roll onto your favorite side, coming into fetal pose. Pressing into the ground, make your way into a seated position, taking your time, keeping your eyes gently closed. Bringing the palms to touch in front of the heart space, allowing the thumbs to extend to the sternum. Notice any changes, either physically or emotionally, that may have taken place in the last hour. Acknowledge the time that you've spent honoring yourself during this practice. Breathe into the space of love and self-acceptance as you take a deep inhale breath. Exhale as you bow forward with deep gratitude filling this energetic seal with love. Namaste. You can open the eyes. I welcome you back to the mat. I hope you enjoyed the class today in the loving kindness meditation. And I hope that you're able to take this with you throughout your day today. And we will see you again soon. Bye for now.